Aging is often seen as a slow, inevitable decline, a loss of time and energy. Society teaches us that once you hit a certain age, life starts shrinking, your relevance fades, and the excitement of youth is left behind. But what if aging isn't really about losing time at all? What if instead it's about learning how to truly live, to stop chasing after fleeting goals and start embodying presence? Could it be that aging is less of a decline and more of an invitation, a call to reconnect with yourself, to shed all that's false and live more authentically? Imagine being able to view aging not as a countdown, but as a chance to return to a purer, truer version of yourself. So what if the feeling of emptiness you may face when retirement hits isn't really loss, but rather a quiet call to awaken to life once more? Aging doesn't have to mean decline. Ask yourself, why do so many people feel a void after they retire? Why does the silence of an empty home sometimes feel more suffocating than noise? Could it be that what we perceive as grief or sadness is actually an opportunity for something deeper? In Buddhist teachings, aging isn't about loss, it's about the chance to return home to yourself. It's a call to stop chasing happiness, to let go of the futile pursuit of time, and start embracing the joy of the present moment. One monk I met in Thailand, who was 91 years old and still walked barefoot with a youthful smile, shared his wisdom. Youth chases happiness, but old age can become happiness if you let go of the chase. This perspective may seem foreign in a world obsessed with youth, but what if it's the key to living a fulfilling life at any age? If this video is touching your soul, share this message with someone who might need it, and be sure to subscribe so we can continue exploring mindful aging together. Walk your way to strength. Meditation in motion. The key to aging gracefully may not lie in a miracle pill, but in your very next step. How often do you simply walk, not to get somewhere, but to come home to yourself? In Zen Buddhism, walking is much more than just a means of transportation. It's a spiritual practice. The Buddha himself walked countless miles, not to pursue something external, but to embody peace with every step. One elderly woman I met at a temple in Kyoto said, "Each morning I walk as if the earth is listening." Her slow, deliberate pace wasn't about fitness. It was a spiritual offering to the world. Walking, even for just 15 minutes a day, can improve your mental health, help you regulate mood, and reduce the risk of cognitive decline. It's science aligning with ancient wisdom, showing that walking is more than just movement. It's a meditation in motion. Eat like you love yourself. Food as a spiritual offering. What if every bite you took was a message of love to your body? Many of us eat out of habit, frustration, or even emotional emptiness. But what if we shifted our relationship with food to one of reverence and care? Imagine treating food as a sacred offering, not something to rush through, but an act of honoring your body. I remember a moment during a winter retreat in the mountains when an elderly monk, nearly 80, prepared his meal in complete silence, offering it to his body with deep gratitude. There was no rush, no craving, just a quiet acknowledgement that he deserved nourishment. What would happen if, like the monk, we took the time to appreciate each meal, to chew mindfully and to savor the experience? The truth is, when we eat with love and presence, not only does our body feel nourished, but our soul is also fed. Laugh often. The healing power of joy. Laughter, surprisingly, may be one of the most powerful tools we have to fight aging. Why do we often think that joy fades with age? In fact, laughter may be one of the most profound forms of healing available to us. It's not just a reaction to humor, but a deep expression of the soul remembering its lightness. I remember an evening spent with a dear friend. We were both in our 70s, and we laughed until we cried over a silly slapstick comedy DVD. That night, everything seemed to shift within us. The world didn't change, but inside, something lightened. Buddhist teachings show that joy isn't a reward for a perfect life. It's a conscious choice to embrace lightness, even in the face of sorrow. Laughter doesn't just benefit your heart and spirit, it affects your body too. It relaxes the muscles, releases endorphins, and lowers stress. So, next time you feel the weight of life's heaviness, give yourself permission to laugh, watch a funny video, reminisce about a silly moment, and let joy find its way back into your life. Build a gentle routine, finding peace in simplicity. What if peace isn't something you search for, but something you create in your daily life? After retiring, I felt the freedom I had longed for, but soon I realized that with no structure, I felt strangely adrift. The key to peace, I found, wasn't in avoiding routine but in creating simple, meaningful rituals. Buddhists have long known the power of daily rituals. From rising with the sun to meditating, these practices create a rhythm that grounds the mind. You don't need to live in a monastery to benefit from structure. Perhaps it's as simple as lighting a candle before breakfast, watering your plants with full attention, or greeting the day with gratitude. Each small act becomes a sacred ritual, creating space for peace in an otherwise chaotic world. Talk to someone. Connection as medicine. Why do we hesitate to reach out to others, especially as we age? In Buddhism, there's a concept called sangha, meaning community or spiritual refuge. We were never meant to walk through life alone, yet many of us do, thinking we're fine. But there's healing in connection, in opening up to others and being witnessed in our truth. When I joined a small tea circle after the passing of my partner, I found solace in simply listening and being heard. Those small shared moments reminded me that connection heals. It's not about finding answers. It's about knowing you're not alone. So take a moment today to reach out to someone. It may be a brief chat, but it can make all the difference. Celebrate yourself. You're still here, and that means everything. How often do you celebrate yourself? Not for an achievement, but just for showing up? Aging doesn't need to be about loss. It can be about gratitude, recognizing that despite the challenges, you are still here, still learning, still growing. I once cut myself a slice of peach pie on a particularly tough day, not because I deserved it, but because I had stayed strong. I had kept going. This simple act was my way of honoring myself. Buddhist wisdom teaches us to celebrate not just the successes, but also the quiet victories, the ones that go unnoticed by the world. So today, find something to celebrate, no matter how small. Honor your journey and remember, your presence in the world is something to be proud of. A final thought. Your next chapter begins. Now, aging isn't about fading away. It's about awakening to the beauty and wisdom within you. You've learned that strength comes from movement. Food can be a spiritual practice, and laughter is a potent form of healing. You've discovered that peace lies in routine, connection nurtures the soul, and rest is sacred. So what's the next step for you? If any part of this video spoke to your soul, let us know in the comments below. Share this message with someone who might need it, and be sure to subscribe so we can continue exploring mindful aging together. Remember, the most meaningful chapter of your life might still be unwritten, but it begins today. Take one mindful step and keep walking with us.